Hi, everybody, and welcome to the final edition of the Racer Report with head coach Chris Hatcher. Coach will rejoin us here in just a moment on our set inside Roy Stewart Stadium. But let's just show you kind of how it all ended. The Racers lost and had a tough defeat at home to Tennessee State on Saturday, 48-33. That means the Racers finished at 3-9 on the season and 1-7. Those victories for the Racers, they went through the season and had chances to get more wins, but it just didn't work out. And today we're going to break down the final game against Tennessee State and look ahead to 2015. And that'll bring us to our time with head coach Chris Hatcher on the final football show in the Racer Report for 2014. Coach, tough defeat Saturday again, and it was kind of the reoccurring theme of falling behind early. And boy, it puts a lot of pressure on your offense when you have to try to battle out of a hole that early.
Well, there's no question, and I like doing the show with you, but thank goodness it's the last one. It's been a long couple last weeks of the season. Again, you're kind of in a quandary because I like to take the ball first, but the wind was just whipping so bad that whoever's going against the wind, it should have been more difficult to move the football. But again, we get off to a poor start. The worst half of football we played all season, right. And I was very disappointed at halftime. Let the guys know that, and then the second half, I thought we played much better. Actually, we played like we did the second half. We probably win the ball game, right. But no emotion, lack of enthusiasm, and it was just hopefully we don't have many highlights to show because it was just a very poor performance. But I'll say this, though, a team that came in the game 3-8, not much success. That was the only half all season that we didn't play with great intensity, great enthusiasm, and that ain't too bad when you have a bad season and it's only 11 and you play 11 and a half good quarters as far as enthusiasm goes.
I agree with you, Coach, and we'll go ahead and roll the tape here and take a look at it. But as you watch on your computer, watch from home here, we're just going to call it what it is. The first half of this isn't too pretty, Coach.
No, there's no doubt, and you're not hurting my feelings on that. They go up. We're
going to save you some here, Coach. We're going to pick it up 7-0.
Well, they take the opening kickoff and move it on down the field, and of course, offensively we come out and we start a little slow too. Now, one thing about Tennessee State that always concerns me is they're so athletic and big up front. We had a very difficult time blocking them, and we had to wear them down with our tempo. So we're forced to punt, and I'm really proud of old Shipley here. He does a really nice job coming in during the season, receiver having to pick up the punting duties for us. But we get after it, and you can see they're just kind of pushing us around a little bit on the offensive line, and they do a nice job. We miss a couple tackles here. The biggest key is they just were, controlling the game with the clock and how they were running the football. But we do a nice job and force them to punt, which was really good at this time.
And we talked about, Coach, here in this first quarter, KD is throwing with the wind.
Yeah, and nice job here. That was a good third down conversion to Jeremy Harness.
He was down, by the way, there.
And we get a nice throw out here to Jesse Blackburn. Jesse's been playing with a separated shoulder the last half of the season, so anytime he got hit on it, right. it was always very difficult for him to get right back up. But fourth down play to Jeremy again, who had a great season, led our team in receptions, and sure enough, the old turnover bug gets us, and right there we got a chance to tie that ball game up. But we throw the interception. Of course, they come right back with a deep ball, which is pretty standard in the game. You try to hit you a deep one after a turnover, and they go up 14-0.
Okay, so we're still first quarter here, about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. And Coach, you talked about your main concern with Tennessee State was their defensive front, and boy, KD had to make some decisions many times, get out of there or get rid of it.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And, we Brandon Jones, our right guard, he went down with an injury throughout the game. So that left us, a little bit light on the line. But we do move the ball down. We get a couple sacks. And unfortunately for us, we have to settle for a field goal that we miss. So we're still being held scoreless, down 14-0.
Yeah, it's 14-0. We get into the second quarter. And I will say this, that was one of those instances right there where there's a couple times TSU just flat puts the ball on the ground and it bounced right back up to them. That was one right there.
Well, there were 3 of them during the course of the game. And, we get nice pressure on the QB and at this time, but he kind of throws one up. So things aren't looking good, but they do have a penalty there. I think they had
that was a 67-yard PAT.
Yeah, they had a 67-yard penalty, PAT attempt. That was no good because they ended up deciding not to kick it after 3 straight penalties. But we finally come back, and we kind of get in a groove here. Nice throw and catch. You can see Jesse going down.
I can't believe he's still playing.
Oh, he's just
a warrior.
He's a true competitor. And then the senior out of St. Louis, Navarre Griffin, gets us on the board. And I tell you what, Navarre has really played well this season. I'm really proud of how he's bounced back from adversity over these past couple years.
Yeah, Griffin really did a good job in the game. He ended up catching 3 balls for 45 yards. TSU's moving now. It's 20-7, and we've got about 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Michael German, he's pretty good when he's healthy and they've got him in the lineup.
Yeah, he's just a good, solid player. And, you saw the last 2 clips. We're there to make the play, and we don't make it. And they hit us with the QB draw. And, QB draw down in that area is always difficult to defend. So, we're really down. We miss Jeremy on the deep throw. He sure was. And this time we don't get a great kick. Again, we're going against the wind at this time, which is very unusual for this time of year. I'm kind of become a Stewart Stadium weatherman. I can tell what the weather's going to be by which way the wind is coming. But we do hold them on defense. Good decision here by Janowski Davis. So we got a chance to do a little something here, Dave, in my mind, before we go to half. Because, we're going to get the ball to start the half.
Right.
We could cut it down to a 2-possession game. But what ends up happening to us, we get a nice first down completion. But, we get a sack here. And to me, this was probably the play that did us in. KD gets sacked from behind. He fumbles the ball. With less than a minute to go in the half, they end up scoring. There's a prime example. We force him to fumble, bounces right to him. You can see
There's
this.
Replay there.
But they go in and score, and they go up 34-7 as we head in half. That series of events, to me, ended up being the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, I thought so because we're talking a 3-score to a 4-score deficit. So you get in the third quarter, and Coach, you and I talked afterwards. This is a point where I just start seeing all those seniors out on the field. I'm just going, this is it.
I hadn't thought about it at this time.
Yeah.
I still felt like we had a chance to win the game. And, so we come right out of the gates. Talked to the team at halftime, wasn't real happy with their performance, just the way we went about our business. So we come right back out, a good throw and catch. There's the freshman, DeQuavius Walker, does a really good job. And then Jordan Gandy, true freshman receiver that we're high on those 2 big receivers. Right. He gets his first collegiate touchdown. The PAT, we miss it. I think this is the one that we missed. Maybe that was the one that we missed. Nope, that was the one we missed.
That was the one we missed, yep.
34-13, and we got a little momentum, and I'm kind of feeling good about ourselves right now. Get pretty good kick coverage here. They got a good kick returner. He kind of gets out there. We kind of got decleated a couple times, but we're forced them to punt. And to me, this has been the story of our season right here, Dave. Yep. All right, we got momentum. We got a chance to do something. We got our offense on the field. KD's got a wide open guy down here. He doesn't choose to throw it to him.
He throws it underneath.
Ball ping-pongs around all 4 guys, and they intercept it, and that kind of squelched any momentum we had.
Yeah, and TSU took it in, scored a touchdown here to make it 41-13. And Coach, we just talked about, defensive line and offensive line play. It's so important, and it's who's going to play on the other side of the line, basically.
We were just got outmanned at certain times in this game, but right there we missed a safety blitz that would let them score 40-13 now. But again, it seemed like it was over because there was just not much energy in the stadium.
Yep.
A lot of different reasons, but here's a nice throw and catch. We're still fighting. Unfortunately, on this drive, we get down here and then we get to 4th and goal. Actually, this is either I think this is the 3rd down. That was the 4th down play. Actually, that was 4th down, and we throw that ball up and they intercept it. So but we do force them to punt. Good return here by Janowski Davis. He ends up getting us in good field position.
There's still 5:28 to go.
Yep.
In the quarter. There's a lot of time left.
Yep. But boy, again, we get sacked. We come back again. We get beat off the right tackle. Get sacked on another 4th down play. So we missed some opportunities there to kind of claw back into the ball game.
Okay, so now we're into the 4th quarter. This will be the second drive because the Racers had to punt. TSU gets the ball back, 10-yard gain there, and then an interception by Samuels Connell. This was a nice play for him.
Yeah, it was. We missed a sack on the play before that, but he gets a nice job, and we get the ball back. So, let's try to make a little something happen, and we finally catch fire offensively. Here again, Jesse Blackburn. And, I tell you what, he's probably the most respected guy on the team. Everybody gets fired up when he gets the ball in his hands. He's such a big load. Get a nice run here. There's Nick Taylor, the freshman, that we're really high on. But, again, we get down here close, and it's a 3rd down play, and we hit the other freshman, DeQuavius Walker, for a touchdown. So making us feel good. At least we cut it to a 3-score game. But the biggest thing is time is starting to catch up to us, and we get the extra point blocked.
Okay, so then TSU goes back and you hold them, so then you get the ball back with still 10 minutes to go, and it's a 41-19 game. And, Coach, that's the one thing is it's just been the early holes that you've had to deal with. It was the Martin game, Eastern Illinois, and this one, to name just a few. And even was kind of in a hole against Southeast Missouri State, but your team always seemed to battle back.
Well, I don't think we had any quit in us, and it is very indicative here. Here's Marcus Holiday, good run and catch, fumbles it out of bounds. We got to hang on to the ball better, something that's hurt us. Here's Jordan Gandy again. I mean, look at this. I mean, boy, if he keeps his feet, I think he had a chance to maybe outrun a few guys, but we're starting to run the ball a little bit. I know time is an issue. Right here, there's Marcus Holiday again. What a great, this was a great 3rd down conversion. Throw and catch, Janowski Davis, who led the league in touchdown catches and had a great season for us. So we cut it down again. At this point, we're down to 2-score game now.
It's 41-26, and there were still 8 minutes to go in the game. Things were getting a little tense over there on the TSU sideline, but then, boy, they broke one off here. And this was the killer.
Yep. That was the one that did us in, and they knock it back to a 3-score game at that time. But offensively, we still come back out, and we're having to go as fast as we can. There's DeQuavius Walker with the catch over on our sideline. Again, we had to mix a few runs in. Good run by Marcus Holiday. Doing what we can, trying to do it as quickly as we can. And then a great 4th down conversion, great catch by Walker here from KD. And then we end up doing a nice job on the play fake. Good throw and catch, Janowski Davis, and I think that gave him his 13th touchdown on the year. That pretty much after we onside kick attempt fails. That's the season, Neil. I mean, Neil, that's what I told him after the game.
Yeah.
That's the season, and proud of our seniors. They worked hard. Now it's time to get ready for next year.
Absolutely. Take a look at the box score there. The Racers ended up scoring 3 times in the 4th quarter, but still come away with a 48-33 defeat. And we mentioned on the day, Janowski Davis was just spectacular again. A 100-yard catch day, a 100-yard day on 8 catches, and a couple of touchdowns. So, Coach, I don't care what sport you're talking about. There comes a time where it needs to be over. Whether you're moving on or you're not, there comes a time in baseball and softball and basketball and all that, there comes a time where it needs to be over, and you got to try to improve and get ready for the next season.
Well, there's no question, and we appreciate the 13 seniors that we had. They did a great job of getting to this point in their career. We're very proud of them. They worked hard. They kept the locker room upbeat in a dismal season record-wise. So we wish them the best, and then tell you what, we got a lot of young players that I'm excited about. They're going to have to work hard. We got to get better for next season.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll take another break here on the Racer Report, and when we come back, we'll wrap it up with head coach Chris Hatcher. The Racer Report with Chris Hatcher is brought to you by Ruth Brothers Wine and Spirits. Serving you for 50 years, Ruth Brothers with 2 locations in Paducah, Kentucky. And by Pepsi Mid-America. Share your summer pics on Twitter with hashtag RealBigSummer. And by Campus Evolution Villages in Murray. The best in student living. Call 270-767-1818 to plan your tour and visit. And by Kentucky Community and Technical College System. Higher education begins here.